Hi, this is Carolyn Logue, and I'm here with the Puyallup Sumner Chamber of Commerce, and I'm here today with John Hopkins, who is running for the Puyallup City Council in District 1, Position 2. Thank you for coming today. We want to start off today with just a 60-second intro about yourself.
Very good. Thanks for inviting me to this. I grew up in England, and about quite a few years ago, I won't say exactly how many, moved to Alaska for a while, where I became an electrician, moved down here in 87, I believe is when it was, and became an electrical contractor. And then I ran a successful business, Diamond Electric, for close to 20 years, doing a lot of public works type projects and private jobs as well. And about 22 years ago, I bought a building downtown, and that sort of moved me in the direction of community service because I ended up on the Main Street board and then as the Main Street president. So I've been active in the community for 22 years in a whole host of committees that would take me a while to go through.
Okay. So let's start with why are you running for office again, because you've been in a position already, and what are you hoping to accomplish this?
Well, I'm running for the third and last time, for the council position. I believe we've accomplished a lot during that time. I wish to continue with our debt repayment. That has been very successful. We've been incredibly fiscally conservative. We have knocked the debt from 90 million to 40 million. I'm looking for 30 million at the end of next year. What that does is it will free up 10 million a year in debt payments, which, as we all know from driving around this part of town, the streets are in bad need of neighborhood street and infrastructure rebuilding. That's one of the things. Obviously, we got the homeless battle. That's a serious issue, but I think we're at the point now where we have a plan that will work for all sides of this. It will work for New Hope, it'll work for freezing nights, and it will work for the city. It will reduce the impacts downtown, which something that myself as a property owner, amongst others, having to fight with. So we have a plan, it's going to work. The other thing is, as you're kind of going through the office, you find more and more issues. Some of them have been taken care of, but one of them recently that's a serious issue is in development services, and I believe that's one of the questions that's coming up down the road, so I won't get into that right now.
Okay. And how do you intend to support the business community?
Well, I've got several things that we are working on right now. One of them is the planned action SEPA for downtown. That is something that is in process right now. This is a growth center, so that will help businesses, developers who wish to build down here by having a lot of the legwork already done for the environmental issues. So that will be done, and we also have in the budget an identical process for up on South Hill. The mall is absolutely excited about it because that's our second growth center, and we fully expect to have that redeveloped over the years. We're also looking at doing expedited permit processes. Again, that goes to development services. We have been taking way too long in the process. Expedited means that you could hire your own engineer and essentially get through the process very quickly. We're doing an economic feasibility study on city-owned properties. That's in process right now. That should help. Additionally, we've hired 2 engineers and 1 permit tech. So there's a lot of things we're doing. We just helped out the Safeway project by getting rid of the requirement for having compensatory storage. That should save them about $750,000.
Okay. So I changed this one up a little bit because I've been sort of asking, do you see a need for new revenue? And if so, do you see a city B&O tax as a source of that new revenue?
Because of the disrepair of the neighborhood streets, we realized that we needed approximately $5 million a year. We got into this discussion about 3 years ago, and we came to the conclusion that probably the best would have been to expand our B&O tax that we have on utilities, we're at a very low 3% as compared to 6% of the other cities. But then the more we thought about it, the more we realized that, wait a minute, if we continue with our debt repayment, all we got to do is wait a couple of years, and now you're going to see the benefit of it next year, because we're going to go from 1 million in Neighborhood Street rebuilding to 3 million. The year after that, we should actually be fully on track, and the year after that, we should be running at a surplus. So why on earth would we need to raise B&O taxes or even bring the subject up at this point?
Okay.
And by the way, the car dealers would string us up, and after they'd done that, they would drag us along the streets
In their cars.
behind their cars.
Yeah, behind their
yes. So no, there's your short answer.
Okay. You talked a little bit about the development process
Yes.
and the permitting process. Are you aware of any current development fees or permitting issues? I mean, sort of, or elaborating on some of the things in the expediting of the
I don't
permitting
think the
process?
fees are the big issue
Okay.
at this point, because the rate at which property is selling, it's not because of the fees that are killing development. Our problem is development services. They are not getting out the small permits quickly enough. We need to have a much quicker process for the small jobs, and we need to accelerate what's going on with the larger jobs. We've heard nothing but complaints from the bigger developers, and rightfully so, because we're taking way too long. The problem really seems to be centered in the engineering department. We identified this approximately a year ago. We made some changes there. We have brought in a person from Pierce County who I have absolute confidence in. And as I said, we've added some engineering staff and a permit tech. We're not where we should be. We're not even close to where we should be. I think that we have to do some more significant changes in that department, and I hope that it happens really quickly.
Okay. Thank you for coming today. We appreciate it.